Well, unfortunately, my worst drone fears have been realized. I finally get to join the cool kids group of people who have crashed their drones. So it looks like the Eagle has landed permanently. This series of Varsity Overland is supported by Diodynamics, Rollercam, Rocky Talkie Mountain Radio, and F&F Specialty Vehicles, Connecticut's premier vehicle outfitter. We found this campground in the San Juan National Forest while following the Dolores River. We had stopped at two previous dispersed sites along the way, but felt they were too close to the main road to offer any real privacy. Here, we were able to finally kick back and relax. The sun was shining, the sound of the river was calming, and for once, there weren't any annoying bugs. Using this campsite has been great. It's got a river, check. It's safe, big check. And it was available when none of the other dispersed sites that we came across were. Check. So, I think what would have kept me from using this campsite is the fact that it is a campground. And I don't think that's okay. In fact, when it comes to something like overlanding, a lot of people have their own interpretation, and there's a lot that you can find online as to what the definition is of overlanding. And that kind of bothers me. Personally, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me if you are in a modified vehicle living out of a rooftop tent in Antarctica for a month, or if you are sleeping in the bed of your truck at a campground. I don't care. I'm still going to call this overlanding. We're still self-reliant out of our vehicle. We are still traveling a decent distance. And I believe there shouldn't just be one correct way to do it. Everyone is entitled to their own style of adventure. Using this campground definitely expanded my interpretation of what overlanding means. Locations such as these allow travelers to enjoy the national forest while reducing their impact on wild places. And the revenue brought in helps support conservation efforts. Another benefit of this campsite is that we didn't have to spend hours driving through the mountains to find it. And instead, we're able to dedicate some time to equipment maintenance, like fixing the crack in our Waterport nozzle, caused by freezing temperatures a few nights prior. It was shaping up to be a peaceful afternoon. That is, until the drone decided it wanted to go for a swim. I finally get to join the cool kids group of people who have crashed their drones. Partial human error, partial drone error, but it happened right here in the Dolores River. So I flew my drone out right past this tree in this open area over the river. It's not particularly windy right now, but My drone hasn't been able to update the app in about 2 days because we haven't had any service. And when it does that, the drone likes to just kind of wander on its own. So I tried to correct that. When I pushed it forward, it just continued that flight pattern forward. Ended up hitting this tree right here, and as soon as it did, went straight into the river. And this river is moving. So unfortunately, there's no way for me to find it or salvage it. And on top of that, the SIM card is inside the drone. Now, there's a glimmer of hope because the drone does back up its footage while in use on the controller. And the controller does have a bunch of my footage from the last 2 or 3 days on it. It's just not great quality. So I'm probably still gonna try and save that, download it, use it for the series here with our Colorado expedition. But at the moment, I am unsure as to how good it's gonna look. So, first drone in the graveyard. So, full disclosure, we spent the last 2 nights in a hotel in Grand Junction. It was much needed. I wasn't feeling well. Pepper wasn't feeling well. We actually had to call the vet back home on the East Coast and have a prescription sent for us. And then on top of that, I wanted to check out a Best Buy and maybe a couple other electronic stores in Grand Junction to see if I could possibly replace my drone. And would you know it that there are no drones. Everything is just completely sold out. So, no drone. Still filming on the road. Not gonna have any aerial shots for a while. But yeah, we are in the White River National Forest now. We got another campsite at a campground just to kind of keep things comfortable as we get back on the road, entering the final leg here. We are on part 3 of our trip. So spend the night here, enjoy the water. There is a really nice river. And tomorrow we'll hit the Rocky Mountain National Park, which I'm really looking forward to. On our way to the Rocky Mountain National Park, we stopped for some coffee in the town of Carbondale. Too often, overlanders spend so much effort getting away from civilization and other people. But in fact, it's moments like this, when we're exposed to a beautiful small town surrounded by mountains, that I gain true perspective.
Join us next time for our 7th and final episode of the Colorado Expedition. We'll camp in our final Colorado campsite within an eerie burnt forest, witnessing the devastating effects of wildfires. And, just when our trip seems to be winding down, we meet a new friend and a new challenge. Thank you so much for watching and joining us on this adventure. We appreciate your interest as well as the support from companies who help make these videos possible.